There's a lake where animals appear to turn to stone. Not in mythology, not in a horror story. Right now. For years, photographs from this remote African lake have spread across the internet with a chilling claim. Animals that touch the water become statues. The photographs are real. The animals are real. And the truth may be even stranger than the myth. Because hidden inside one of Earth's most hostile environments is a place where millions of animals return every year to survive.
Strange ground.
This is Lake Natron.
Lake Natron is a remote lake in northern Tanzania, near the border with Kenya. At first glance, it doesn't look like a place where anything should survive. The water can appear blood red. The shoreline is coated in salt. The surrounding landscape feels harsh and empty, almost unfinished. From above, the lake looks less like a body of water and more like a scar stretching across the earth. And somehow, this is one of the most important places for life in all of East Africa. But we'll come back to that, because Lake Natron's reputation was built on something else entirely. The photographs. Images of birds frozen in place. A bat preserved with its wings extended. Animals that look as if they were caught in motion and suddenly turned to stone. When these photographs began circulating online, many people reached the same conclusion. Something about the lake was killing animals and transforming them into statues. The images looked too strange to be real, but they were. And that only made the mystery deeper. Because if the photographs were fake, what exactly happened here?
The deeper you look into Lake Natron, the stranger it becomes. Unlike most lakes, its water is extremely alkaline. Fed by mineral-rich springs and volcanic deposits from the surrounding Rift Valley, the lake contains unusually high concentrations of dissolved salts and minerals. In some areas, the water can become so concentrated that salt crusts form across the surface. Temperatures can climb well above 40 degrees Celsius. The air shimmers above the shoreline. The ground cracks beneath the sun. Even standing near the lake can feel uncomfortable. Everything about the environment seems to send the same message: stay away. And for many animals, that's exactly what they do. Few creatures are adapted to conditions this extreme. Few places on Earth look less inviting. Which is why the photographs felt believable. Because Lake Natron already looked like a place where life goes to die.
That the truth behind the stone animals is different. The lake doesn't magically transform living creatures into rock. The animals in those photographs were already dead. Over time, their remains became coated in minerals from the surrounding environment. Those minerals preserved their shapes, sometimes in remarkable detail, creating images that looked almost impossible. The famous photographs were captured by photographer Nick Brandt. And what made them so unsettling wasn't that they showed something supernatural. It was that they revealed something real. Nature had preserved these animals in a way that looked almost artificial. The mystery was solved. Or at least, it seemed solved. Because answering one question created a much bigger one.
If Lake Natron is so hostile, why does anything come here at all? Why would animals willingly return to a place like this? Why would they choose it? Every year, the answer arrives from the sky. Flamingos. Not hundreds, not thousands, millions. Lake Natron is one of the most important breeding grounds for lesser flamingos anywhere on Earth. For much of the year, vast flocks gather here to nest and raise their young. From above, entire sections of the lake can appear pink, not because of the water, because of the sheer number of birds. And suddenly, the lake begins to make sense. The same conditions that make Lake Natron seem hostile help protect the flamingos. Predators struggle in the harsh environment. Many animals avoid the area entirely. The isolated breeding grounds become difficult to reach. What looks dangerous from a distance becomes protection up close. For the flamingos, the lake isn't a trap. It's a sanctuary. And that's what makes Lake Natron so fascinating. Because of the red water, because of the stories. But those things were never the real story. The real story is that one of Earth's harshest environments became one of its safest nurseries. A place where life survives not despite the conditions, but because of them. What appears deadly can sometimes be protective. What looks empty can be essential. And what seems impossible at first glance can turn out to be exactly what nature intended. Lake Natron isn't strange because animals appear to turn into stone. It's strange because it reminds us that nature doesn't always reward comfort. Sometimes, life flourishes in the places where almost nothing else can. And that may be the strangest thing about it. Would you ever visit a place that looks this hostile, knowing it's actually protecting millions of lives? Places like this shouldn't exist, but they do. If you enjoyed this investigation, like the video and subscribe to Strange Ground. And if you're not ready to leave yet, another case is waiting on your screen now. Until next time, stay curious.